Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. Fielded right around the 8. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
Here we go, set!
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They go play action with Hurts. His throw incomplete. The Buccaneers have 13-3 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play, what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr. On first down, Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
It's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3 down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fielded at the 33. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
Hurts sets up to throw it. This will be caught as Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 22, Hurts. And this is caught at the 8. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Throwing is Hurts. And it's caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Xander Horvath. His second touchdown on the season. And they're able to add on to their advantage. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their pullback and pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. The lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get Scouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick forward back regroup here with a big third down coming up.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Going up top for Kupp. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Taken in at the 22. Now a hit and a loose football. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for there.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Play action. Here's Hurts. takes it inside the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And his throw is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, 23 yards for the touchdown. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Just 4 plays. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the... Touchback. Right down. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Steps away, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to them.
And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Deebo Samuel, an 18-yard touchdown grab. as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here this first half. So they only needed 3. Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for Buccaneer TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Drake Jackson burying him and finishing the play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Here's Carr. Swinging this out for Pollard. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And it's So way back out, NFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, you get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
Wilson's throw taken in by Samuel. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Right back to Hubbard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on On the counter, this is Hubbard. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. To throw is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Norris. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. From the shotgun, Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown! John Ross, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Tucker with the extra point, and the round is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now Carr, and that one going to come up short, low throw.
His defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And he is going to have a Jags first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. And he wants Reynolds way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything that they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. They find some open field here. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 4th and 4. To throw, it's Carr. This pass complete to Reynolds. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now the pressure gets there and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Take it to him. Don't let him rest.
On now is the kicker Jason Myers for the field goal try. This from 36 yards out. Myers' kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa, and we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. As they take over. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. They go play action with Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So they go from 142-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll run a draw now with Hubbard. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Rolling to his right. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Micah Parsons in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration.
Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the 1st half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the 1st half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Carr. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out to
say, hey, let's get 3, right? Not one that I've ever met.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. The partner still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
He's been a one-man dynamo on this drive so far, and you know the other receivers would love to get involved. But right now, his skill and his play has his team in a great position to put 6 points on the board.
Wilson. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chuba Hubbard from 4 yards out. And the Bucs have got it on cruise control. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive.
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's a run by Hubbard. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This from 44 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
That was 6. Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on E! Sports. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw his car. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put in #1 for what we've seen this season.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On second down, here's a run with Hubbard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Wilson going to try once more. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
The Bucs on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. We're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they'll pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know. If you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Fitz comes back out onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On 1st and 10, here's Carr, escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on 2nd down, Carr. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw got him a little too far, brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And Ingram hauls it in. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. A give up the middle, Hubbard, and he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he's going to take this one down to the 25.
105 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. On the handoff, it's Hubbard.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On the give, this is Hubbard.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was